Hello, my name is Reverend Dr. Mary Lautzenhiser Bellon, and I direct the Office of Pastoral Care and Counseling for the Iowa Annual Conference. I'd like to spend a few minutes with you talking about resiliency and anxiety as we prepare for the specially called General Conference of 2019. Resiliency, in its basic definition, is an object that can retain its shape, spring back into shape after having been stressed. Now, in trauma recovery, how we think about resiliency is the capacity of an individual or a group of people to navigate resources for their well-being, and those resources might be psychological, emotional, spiritual, cultural, social, physical. And in addition, resiliency in trauma recovery is also used to talk about the way an individual or a group of people can negotiate for resources that they don't presently have, but which would be helpful to them for their well-being. Again, psychological, emotional, spiritual, physical, cultural, and social. Human beings are by nature resilient. Throughout time memorial, human beings have met challenges and adversity and have used their resources to keep going and to find a way forward. Resiliency also always lowers anxiety. And I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about the two major kinds of anxiety. So there's personal anxiety and there's group anxiety. What these two forms of anxiety have in common is they're sometimes called the what-if situations. That is, these anxieties say, well, what if this happens, or what if that happens, and cause people to feel upset or concerned or off balance. But in personal anxiety, an individual may be predisposed to feeling anxious. It may have genetic roots. Sometimes we think of that as almost like an allergy. Those persons are very sensitive to certain things that go on in the environment and they feel anxious. Remedies for personal anxiety include lifestyle changes, sometimes medications, and other ways of being in community or having relationships that lower the felt sense of being anxious. Now, group anxiety works a little differently. A group anxiety is formed when a group of people, a collection of people, an organization cannot agree on behaviors or beliefs or pathways to go forward. And in that disagreement, the group energy becomes immobilized or paralyzed. And that sense of paralysis creates the feeling of anxiety. In group anxiety, we say it is always contagious. That means if I join a group that has group anxiety, sooner or later, I also will feel anxious. There are 4 ways that group anxiety primarily expresses itself. One is triangulation or lack of clear communication. One is projection and blaming. That is pushing on to other people or groups of people the ownership for the unfortunate feelings or conflicted feelings. One is overfunctioning and underfunctioning, where some people work a lot and other people work less and less. And finally, distancing, where somebody feels that they can no longer tolerate the uncomfortable feelings of group anxiety, and so they exit. Remedies for group anxiety include opportunities for clear communication, for owning what we feel and what our participation has been, for balancing our work ethic, and for staying with this group that we have affiliated with. In the United Methodist Church, the General Conference of 2019 is a strategy and way that we lower group anxiety. The reason this is so is because it has invited a lot of communication. So prior to the General Conference. We've had many position papers, Facebook pages, studies, lectures, PowerPoints that have shared information and allowed people to participate in conversation. As our representatives gather in St. Louis, they will also have direct communication with each other, and they will deal with legislation that tries to help the United Methodist Church take steps forward. These very actions lower group anxiety and create resiliency. Will we all agree with the decisions of the General Conference? Probably not. Will we all feel really great about the steps forward? Maybe not. But we will all receive less anxiety because this process has been engaged. I would like to say that the United Methodist Church has abundant resources to help us create resiliency. We have talented laity in vibrant churches and churches seeking renewal. We have educated clergy, bishops, and leaders of our agencies that are out doing best practices for what contributes to creating disciples of Jesus Christ. We have missional work from colleges to clinics to opportunities to respond to natural disasters, environmental degradation, immigration and refugee concerns, racism, the problems of clean water, and a host of other issues that are very important in our world today. And finally, each one of us has a tremendous resource in the saving love of Jesus Christ, to which we have aligned our lives. And that saving love holds us today, and it will hold us personally and collectively as we walk into tomorrow.